What's going on, Crimson Tide fans? Chris Daughtery here with the Alabama Football Report by Chat Sports. The 2025 NFL Draft begins tonight, and we will be live here on our main Chat Sports channel for all 7 rounds of the NFL Draft. So do not miss out. We're going to start it tonight for round 1, 6 p.m. Eastern time. So come hang out with us over on the main Chat Sports YouTube channel. It's youtube.com/chatsportstv. All right, we're going to begin today's show talking about Deontae Lawson. Alabama's defensive coordinator, Kane Wommack, gave us a little bit of an injury update on Deontae Lawson. Of course, we know he injured that tore that ACL back on November 23rd against Oklahoma. Now, he did say a couple months ago, I believe it was now, that he does plan to be back for fall camp, but it seems like from Kane Wommack's comments, that might be a real possibility here for Deontae Lawson. This is what he had to say, Kane Wommack anyways, to Alabama media a couple days ago. He said he's handling his rehab similar to how you think he's a total pro. He's farther ahead than where most people are at his stage in his rehab, and excited to see as he gets to do more and more things this summer, and then obviously to be able to go into fall camp and get himself healthy and ready. So let me know here at the pinned comment of today's video. Do you guys think Deontae Lawson will be back for that first game for the Crimson Tide, going down and playing FSU in the first game of the season? Let me know what you guys think. Type Y for yes or N for no at the pinned comment of today's video. If that ad comes here on YouTube, that is totally fine. You guys should know the drill by now. Get down there, take advantage of it, and let me know what you guys think. All right, man, just going ahead here with Deontae Lawson, man, he was so good for Alabama last season. He's gotten better every single season he's played here with the Crimson Tide, with him and Jihaad, Campbell, really Justin Jefferson as well. That, combo of 3 guys right there was so good for Alabama last season, and I do think as well he did a little bit better in terms of, coverage and things like that as well. Run stopping is really what Deontae Lawson was really, really good at last season. And it really did hurt that you ended up losing him towards the end of the season. Was it a lost cause at that point? Maybe not. I don't really want to call it that. But, losing that game against Oklahoma was really an offensive thing. Not so much, defense definitely had some struggles, stopping the run in that game. But man, Deontae Lawson coming back next year is just going to be really big. And if Alabama can get him back for the first game of the season and have him healthy for the entirety of that season, Alabama's linebacker core is just going to be super solid with Justin Jefferson, Deontae Lawson, and Nakai Hill-Green. And even guys like Caden Jones and QB Reese got a lot of buzz this spring as well. So I'm super excited to see what Deontae Lawson can do next year. Hopefully he's able to, be 100% and be totally back to form by the time Alabama has their first game. But Deontae Lawson seems to be doing a pretty good job in terms of his rehab. All right, coming up next, we're going to talk some 2025 NFL draft here. Now that the draft starts tonight anyways, Alabama has 3 players that have some first-round buzz. So we're going to talk about those guys, and we're going to talk about some of these other guys at the very end of today's show as well. But first, I want to give a shout-out to our friends over at Game Time, because today's show is presented by Game Time. Game Time makes getting tickets faster and easier. Prices on the Game Time app actually go down the closer you get to first pitch now that baseball season is in full swing. They have killer last-minute deals, all-in prices, views from your seat, and the lowest prices guaranteed. Game Time takes the guesswork out of buying MLB tickets. Game Time is the official ticketing partner of Chat Sports and us here at the Alabama Football Report. And you guys can take advantage of their last-minute deals by saving up to 60% off by buying last-minute tickets for sports, concerts, comedy, theater, and so much more. I absolutely love going to comedy shows. You got Shane Gillis coming to town in just a couple of days. I highly recommend, if you can, go to Birmingham for that. Man, that would be a very, very good time. You could also get tickets to Alabama football games already, Or if you want to go to some spring sports like baseball, softball, and anything else that's going on right now with the Crimson Tide, you guys can take advantage of it and get those tickets on Game Time. And by the way, use that Game Time Picks feature. It just makes last-minute ticket buying even easier than ever by quickly highlighting the best deals in the stadium. They also have the zone deals. You choose the section and let Game Time choose the seat for you, because at the end of the day, if you're in the section that you want to be, it really doesn't matter what seat you're in, right? They also have those panoramic views from your seat in the app before you buy, so you also know exactly what your view is going to look like. So take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app today, create an account, and redeem promo code ChatSports for $20 off your first purchase. Terms do apply, but again, create an account and redeem promo code CHATSPORTS, that's ChatSports, for $20 off your first purchase. That link's going to be in the comment section and the description of today's video. So download the Game Time app today. They have last-minute tickets at the lowest prices, all guaranteed. Now to the 2025 NFL Draft. The Crimson Tide have a lot of players that are eligible for the draft this season, but they have 3 guys who are really generating a lot of first-round buzz right now. Jihaad Campbell, it seemed for the entirety of this draft process that he was really the only player for Alabama that is a guaranteed first-round lock. A lot of final mock drafts I saw this morning had Jihaad Campbell actually slipping out of the first round, but I do think that he is probably the guy for Alabama that is certified in the first round. Tyler Booker, Jalen Milro, there is some buzz there. I would probably expect both of those guys really to go in round 2, but we're going to break down some landing spots, for all 3 of these guys potentially in the first round here. We'll start off with Jihaad Campbell, Cincinnati Bengals, sitting there at number 17. They definitely need some help on the defensive side of the ball. There might be some buzz them going offensive line there. Maybe Tyler Booker's an option there, but there are some other options along the offensive line that they could go there. I've seen Jihaad Campbell mocked to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers there at 19 as well. And then the Philadelphia Eagles, Daniel Jeremiah actually mocked Jihaad Campbell to the Philadelphia Eagles here in his final mock drafts this morning. So those are 3 potential landing options for Jihaad Campbell. One of my favorite spots would probably be the Eagles, but I would not be surprised if the Cincinnati Bengals called his name at pick number 17. So let me know here in the comment section who will draft Jihaad Campbell in the 2025 NFL Draft. I'm going to assume he's a first-round guy, but let me know what you guys think. Who is going to end up drafting Jihaad Campbell? Let's look at Tyler Booker here, some potential landing spots for him. I don't necessarily think the Dallas Cowboys are going to go offensive line at number 12, but there has been some buzz that maybe they end up, trading back in the NFL Draft and going offensive line. Tyler Booker could be an option there for them. I've also seen some buzz for the Cincinnati Bengals. Dane Brugler actually mocked Tyler Booker to the Cincinnati Bengals in his final mock draft there at 17. I think they got to go defense, though. Houston Texans, Detroit Lions are very good spots for him as well. I really do think Tyler Booker, if he does go in the first round, I think it's probably going to be somewhere after 20, but we're just going to have to see there. I also do think, probably the most realistic option for Tyler Booker is he ends up falling to the second round, but, he is a mauler. I do think he has some, athletic things that he probably has to get better on, in terms of pulling and stuff like that. That's really been one of the flaws that, I've seen out of all the mock drafts and, seeing all the things around the NFL Draft. But Tyler Booker, man, he is an absolute dog. He is a leader, and, he is just at the end of the day a really good player that I think a lot of teams out there are really, if they don't end up drafting him, they're going to be missing out in this draft class. Let's go here now to Jaylen Milro. Look, we've talked a lot of negativity here about Jaylen Milro, but I do want to be a little bit positive. We all know the flaws that he had at Alabama, but that does not mean he can't be a very good player. I think out of all the quarterbacks in this 2025 NFL draft class, Jaylen Milro probably has the highest ceiling out of all of them. We know he has a very strong arm. We know he definitely is the best running quarterback in this draft class, and a lot of draft experts out there have even said that he's probably the best running quarterback that they have ever seen and scouted. So I do think that Jaylen Milro has an opportunity to be a very good quarterback in the NFL, but it all really comes down to our team's going to ask him to play in his first season as a rookie. I think that is a recipe for failure. I think if he ends up going day 2, that would be a better spot for Jaylen Milro, especially if he can go to a team that ends up, having a veteran quarterback and he's able to sit for a season and end up developing. I think that'll be a very, very good thing for Jaylen Milro. 3 teams here who have gotten a lot of buzz for Jaylen Milro. The Pittsburgh Steelers. I've been talking to our guy Sperry here, our Steelers host here at Chat Sports, and he really does love Jaylen Milro. He seems to think Jaylen Milro is going to go in the first round to the Pittsburgh Steelers. We'll see if they go Shedeur Sanders as well. That's another option for the Steelers. Giants, Browns, I think if he ends up landing there, that's going to end up being round 2, unless there has also been some buzz that maybe the Giants end up trading back up into the first round. Obviously, they have the 3rd pick in the NFL draft, and the Cleveland Browns have the 2nd pick. Don't think Jaylen Milroe is going to go there, but I would not be surprised if either one of those teams ends up trading back into the first round to end up getting Jaylen Milroe. So how many Alabama players do you guys think gets drafted in round 1? Let me know what you guys think here in the comment section of today's video. 3 is probably the absolute max for the Crimson Tide, but it could be all the way down to 0, honestly, if Jihaad Campbell ends up falling. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section of today's show. All right, some other players that are probably going to go, or the rest of the players for Alabama anyways in the NFL draft here. You got Malachi Moore, Quandarius Robinson, C.J. Dupree. Those are 3 of my favorite players, honestly, from Alabama in this draft, outside of the guys in round 1. I think Quandarius Robinson, man, whoever ends up getting that guy, I think probably 4th, 5th round is the range there for Quandarius Robinson. One thing that Nick Saban always talked about was creating value for yourself. And Quandarius Robinson did a very good job doing that in his time at Alabama. Didn't necessarily, play really any until his final season with Alabama before he got injured anyways. But playing special teams is a surefire way to help yourself out. And if you're one of those last guys, around cut time for the NFL, special teams ability, being able to contribute on special teams can get you on a roster. I think Quandarius Robinson can do that. He's got that in the bag. Malachi Moore, I hope nothing but the best for him, man. He really does bleed crimson red. And C.J. Dupree, man, I was really excited about him as well. In his time at Alabama. I think he's probably a later round guy as well, but just a lot of quality people on this list right here. Tim Smith as well. Robbie Oots. Really do love those guys. Probably going to be later round guys, though. Then you got your special teams guys. James Burnham, Graham Nicholson, Nealon Hibbett. I would expect those guys to probably be UDFAs, undrafted free agents, but who knows? The NFL draft is crazy. If you ended up drafting a special teams guy like that, I don't think that's a really good route to go, but it is what it is there. But Quandarius Robinson, one of my favorite players for Alabama in this 2025 draft class.